I recall waking up naturally around 12:30 p.m. I called my mom within 15 minutes to let her know I was awake, and she came over to my dad's place around 1:30 p.m. to pick me up and take me to her place. I called my mom when, upon noticing that she had sent me a text message requesting that I do so she would know I was awake. Around 2:30 p.m., I had a ribeye steak my mom prepared with some prepared frozen peas and carrots, with the carrots cut up into little cubes, which my mom prepared alongside the ribeye steak, both around the same time, but not at the exact same place within the kitchen at my mom's place. I had that with a glass of whole milk, like I'm having right now. Between then and now, 2 different glasses were used, but they look exactly the same. I recall it was around 4:45 p.m., 5 p.m. at the latest when my mom and I left for my mom to drive me to where a band she's a part of had a live show at the pavilion that's on a campgrounds that surrounds the building that used to be Destination Bar and Grill. They're under that building is now under new management. That building is still a bar and grill eatery, though only now called 585 Tavern. Around 6:30 p.m. I had a garbage plate, though on the menu it was referred to as, if I recall correctly, a North Point plate. That garbage plate consisted of 2 cheeseburgers tater tots, and mac salad with cheese sauce, meat sauce, and ketchup I put on myself through one of those classic all red plastic rectangular bottles of ketchup with a pointy end that the ketchup comes through. With that garbage plate, I had an aluminum can of 1911 original hard cider. I asked the female bartender who brought me the to-go order I placed, and I was told it was okay if I brought out the aluminum can of original 1911 hard cider to one of the wooden picnic tables that surrounded the pavilion where the live band show would be. Presumably, as I wouldn't be going on the road with it, just going from 585 Tavern to the campground surrounding that building. I recall the live band show being roughly from 7 p.m. to roughly 9:45 p.m., during which mostly covers were played, but there were also a few original songs. I enjoyed listening to that live band performance. The singing and the playing of the drums and the guitars was good. If I recall, it was in the mid-80s in degrees Fahrenheit outside, at least before the sun set. Starting at around 8:30 p.m. and being fully complete by 10 p.m., by which point I think it cooled down somewhat, but even prior to that, it didn't necessarily feel too hot to me. I enjoyed looking at the naturesque setting, the trees, the green grass, the occasional gentle breeze felt nice, and I recall after finishing the aluminum can of 1911 original hard cider, sipping at a plastic bottle of Poland Springs branded water. Then I recall chugging at least half of a second plastic bottle of Poland Spring branded water right before me and my mom left around 10:30 p.m. to head back to her place. I recall chugging about 2/3 of that second plastic bottle of Poland Spring branded water I had. Those plastic bottles of Poland Spring branded water came from a square blue outside made of fabric cooler with zippers and a black strap my mom brought over in her car for me and my mom going to the live band show, which also had little aluminum cans of low sodium V8 branded vegetable juice and plastic bottles of Pure Leaf branded tea. But I decided not to have any of those. Instead, deciding to just have water after I finished the aluminum can of original 1911 hard cider. I recall working on editing the July 11 My Dinner video. Project in Camtasia 2019. Both before my mom took me to the live band show, I intended to spend some time with my mom, and after, me and my mom got back to her place. Though as of now, I'm only about halfway done editing the July 11 My Dinner video project in Camtasia 2019. So I'm technically 10 My Dinner video projects behind currently. But it was worth it to spend some time with my mom and to do something today for the summer. My mom brought over a blue fabric lawn chair with a metal frame with the legs and other parts of the framing to keep the chair up once it's set up, being made out of metal, for me to sit on during the live band show, though it ended up not being necessary due to there being some wooden picnic tables just around the outer perimeter of the pavilion, and me and my mom were among the first to arrive for the live band show. And those who arrived later either drove up to just where the pavilion was, the outer range of it, maybe within 50 or so feet of the outer perimeter of the pavilion, which wasn't that big of a pavilion. Maybe a little bigger than a standard bedroom. Those who came later for the live band show either drove up in golf carts or stayed in their RVs / trailers. Today I edited the July 11 My Dinner video project in Camtasia 2019 while laying in my bed in my bedroom upstairs at my mom's place. I appreciate how my mom cleaned up my bedroom a little, especially how she redid the sheets for my bed, and the comforters spread evenly across the whole bed. It's been a while since my bed has been like that, and I appreciate the feeling I get from it. It's a good feeling. Good and mildly nostalgic. While sitting on one of the wooden picnic tables at just around the perimeter of the outer boundary of the pavilion, while attending the live band show my mom was a part of, I didn't really notice myself sweating much, and generally felt pretty good. The campgrounds where the live band show was offered a disc golf course, a small-ish public swimming pool, and a playground for children between the ages of 5 and 12, though I didn't partake in any of that. I just sat at one of the wooden picnic tables just around the perimeter of the outer boundary of the pavilion, listening to and enjoying the live band show, while sometimes being on my phone and other times observing my surroundings at the campgrounds, which was all mildly enjoyable.